Yo boys, Bowie here. Today I've got the G-Wolves Hati-S Wireless, and this is the retail copy, not the sample that most reviewers have. And so here in Canada, this ran me about $130, so roughly 100 US. And so this is an expensive mouse, definitely not budget friendly. Um, on my scale, it came out to about 59 grams. Uh, Without the grip tape, with the grip tape, it did increase to about 60 grams, so it is still pretty light. And I've been using it now for 2 weeks straight, exclusively for 2 weeks, and I think it's time for me to express my opinions and thoughts on this mouse. So yeah, the G-Wolves Hati-S wireless review. Let's go in. Quickly, a couple things before I get to the mouse itself. I have to mention the USB dongle and the antenna that it comes with. Um, Aesthetically, it is not a good look, but connection-wise, it works perfectly fine. So if you are someone that cares about the aesthetics of your setup, this just looks clunky and really outdated. But the connectivity is really good with the antenna. With just the USB dongle, I've heard people having connectivity issues. Personally, I never experienced any, but I use it with the antenna anyways, just to be safe. But I know some people, just be wary before buying this, that it does come with this big clunky antenna. But personally, yeah, it wasn't an issue for me because I would just put it in the back of my computer and I never saw it. So personally, not a problem for me. I know it will be for some. Another thing is the cable. It is micro USB, but that is not an issue because the battery life is extremely good on this. For the 2 weeks that I've used it, I've charged it twice, and I never turned it off. It's always been on. So 99% of the time, you will be using it wireless. But a quick feature that I want to mention of this cable, when plugged in, or just in general, if you use it wired, you can kind of bend the front end of it, and if you have this in a bungee, it won't drag across your mouse pad. So yeah, I thought that was a cool feature, something worth noting. And but it's really thick and just not worth using as the battery is really good. So just thought I'd mention that. Now onto the mouse itself, and the first thing I want to mention is the shape of the mouse. And most reviewers compare this to a smaller G Pro wireless, and I can completely agree. This shape I actually really like. I feel like it's really safe and it accommodates most, if not all, hand sizes and grip styles. My hand size is 19 by 10 centimeter, and I could use this in fingertip or claw. It feels really good as it has a decent sized hump in the back for claw. And I don't know if you have smaller hands. I mean, probably extremely small hands. You can probably palm this, but I feel like this mouse suits best in claw or fingertip. Um, but yeah, I really like the shape, and I think it's really good, really safe, and for all hand sizes. And just to compare it to other small mice on the market, I have the Viper Mini and the MM710. I feel like it fits perfectly in between these two mice, as the grip width is slightly bigger than the Viper Mini, but smaller than the MM710. And the hump on the back of the Hati is not as full as the MM710. As you can see, it extends further towards the back, but it's still a bit more fuller than the Viper Mini. So I feel like if you're looking for something in between these two, as far as mouthfeel goes, I feel like the Hati-S shape is the perfect balance between these two. Oh yeah, I have reviews on both of these mice coming soon, so stay tuned for that. Now, as far as mouse clicks go, these are definitely top three for me. They have Kale 8.0s, and just the way they feel and they sound really nice. There's basically no pre or post travel on mouse 1 or 2, and there's again no side wobble on mouse 1 and 2. I feel like these are very good, and like I said, top 3 for me. And the scrolling experience, the scroll wheel is also very tactile, very nice, very bumpy, but also super easy to actuate. It just feels really nice. And as far as the side buttons go, again, basically no pre or post travel. They sound pretty nice, pretty good. Again, probably top 3 side buttons, top 3 buttons overall. And as far as the DPI, it's right here. You can actually change the lift off distance by holding down the DPI and pressing mouse 4 or mouse 5. I believe mouse 4 is 1 millimeter and mouse 5 is 2 millimeter lift off distance. So yeah, if you're curious, that's how you do that. Can't do that through the software. And as far as the feet go on this mouse, they're actually really good. They're pretty thick. They are rounded, and the glide you just get is really nice. You can see on my Hien, and I will not be replacing these mouse feet as I think they are very good. Probably one of the best stock feet I've ever used. And the sensor, it is a 33-35 sensor, and honestly it's a really good sensor. No issues at all with the sensor. So the last thing I want to mention is the QC of this mouse, and it was the reason why I've avoided G-Wolves and their products for a long time, is that I've heard that the build quality of their mice just isn't the greatest. And I can say after 2 weeks of use so far, the build quality is really sturdy. You see no side flex on the top or on the side. On the bottom there's a little bit of creaking, but bottom flex doesn't really matter as you won't be pushing down on the bottom of the mouse. But like I said, pre and post travel, nothing really on side buttons or mouse 1 or 2, and I'm overall really happy of the QC of this mouse. And yeah, there's no need to worry so far. I'll update you guys if I've had any other issues. So to sum up the Hati-S Wireless, I'm honestly finding it hard to find things to criticize. The shape is great. I mean, it's safe. From fingertip to claw, I'm sure you can find a grip that suits you. The clicks, top tier clicks. The feet, I won't be replacing the feet, so probably some of the best stock feet I've ever used. The sensor is also really solid. The build quality that I thought I'd have issues with is non-existent. And the weight, I mean, it could have been slightly lower compared to the normal Hati, but I feel like if you don't want to risk the QC issues of the regular Hati, I say just go with the wireless. I mean, it's a little bit more expensive, but I feel like this is a safe bet. And I mean, I didn't even mention the side grips that I use. Also probably the best side grips, stock side grips that you can use on a mouse. I tried using it without the side grips and it wasn't for me. My hands get extremely sweaty and I just don't like the honeycomb design on the side. So as soon as I put the grips on, it made my experience with this mouse so much better, as it actually increased the width of the mouse as well, and which I prefer. So yeah, yeah, I definitely recommend this mouse, and it's probably my favorite mouse that I currently own right now. But it's close. I'm currently testing the Pulsefire Haste. This thing is a beast as well, but more on that later. A review coming up for this as well. Yeah, the G-Wolves Hati-S Wireless beast mouse. Recommend it. Go get it. Peace, boys.